everyone, welcome to Little Diamond Yoga Stories with me, Megan. And Little Diamond Yoga Stories is all about learning a new story and doing some yoga poses as we go along. So copy the moves that I do and try to have some fun. Okay, let's start our yoga as we always do by crossing our legs and sitting on our bottoms, bringing our hands to our hearts, and after 3 we'll say our yoga hello, namaste. 1, 2, 3, namaste. Well done. Now today's story is all about a sheep. So let's go into a sheep pose. Coming onto our hands and knees. And then what sound does the sheep make? Ba. So we're going to ba, 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 like a sheep. The sheep in our story is called Sammy. Sammy lives on a hill. Come to standing with your feet together. And taking your hands by your side. And then roll your shoulders up and back and down into a hill pose. Fantastic. The hill is covered in luscious grass. Come to lying on your backs and lift your legs up straight in the air and then wiggle your toes like the grass is blowing in a breeze. The hill is covered in grass and rocks. Bringing your legs back down and then coming to sit on your knees. We're going to go into a rock pose, taking our head to the floor and tucking our arms in at our sides. Fantastic. Sammy loves where he lives. He loves the hill that he calls home. But there's one thing he worries about. In between the hill that he lives on and another hill, there is a road. And on that road, cars and other vehicles come zooming by. Come to sitting on your bottom, your legs out straight in front of you. Turning on your engine, holding your steering wheel, and the cars zoom around this corner. And they zoom around this corner. They zoom up the hill, leaning back, and they zoom down the hill, leaning forwards. You need to sit back up and turn your engine off. Those cars come zooming everywhere, even though they know there are sheep. Let's go back into our sheep pose, onto our hands and knees, and ba, 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 like a sheep. Those vehicles come zooming by, even though they know that sheep live on the hill. Sammy has lived on this hill all his life, since he was a little lamb. Bending your arms and coming down to rest on the front of your arms, the forearm, into a lamb pose. Because Sammy has lived on this hill so long, he knows how to stay safe around the road. He knows, coming to sit on your knees, that when you come up to the road, you must stop, holding both of your hands up straight. You must look, take out your super spectacles and look around. You must listen, rubbing your ears from the bottom to the top and all the way back down again. And you must think, rubbing your head. Now there have been some lovely new lambs born on the hill recently. Let's go back into that lamb pose, starting on our hands and knees, and then coming down onto the fronts of our arms into our lamb pose. Now these lambs are lovely, and Sammy is excited to have them around. But unfortunately, these lambs don't know how to stay safe around that scary road. One day, Sammy the sheep was sitting and eating some grass. Come sitting on your bottoms, your legs out wide in front of you, and bending forward to eat some grass. When he noticed something that scared him, getting out your super spectacles, Sammy could see Lily the lamb standing up. Lily the lamb was about to run over the road. All of a sudden, Sammy shouted, "Stop!" Cupping your hands around your mouth, breathing in through your nose. We're going to blow up a big balloon as we shout, "Stop!" We're breathing out, "Stop!" Lily stopped where she was, on the first side of the road. Sammy, let's go back into our sheep pose. Onto our hands and knees, and baa, baa, baa like a sheep. Sammy explained to Lily how to stay safe. Coming back onto your knees. Sammy said, before you cross the road, you must stop. Bringing those hands up, well done. You need to look for vehicles. Taking out your super spectacles. You need to listen for vehicles. And you need to think. Moving your head. Is it safe to cross? Just as Sammy was doing this, a car came zooming down the road. Sitting up, take your arms out wide and spin fast to show how fast the car's wheels were spinning as it zoomed down the road. Well done. Yesterday, Sammy was curled up in the shade of a tree. Come to lying on your side, all curled up. And all of a sudden, he noticed something wrong, sitting up on your knees and getting out those super spectacles. Lucas the lamb was about to jump over the road, crouching down, with your hands down up on your tiptoes so you're ready to jump. Sammy looked at him and shouted, stop, coming on back onto your knees, cupping those hands around your mouth. We're going to blow up that balloon as we breathe out and shout, stop. Breathing in through your nose. Stop! Lucas the lamb stopped, just as a motorbike came zooming down the road. Standing up with your feet together, bending forwards so your body is in line with the floor, and then reach your arms forward to hold your motorbike handlebars and vroom, vroom, vroom like a motorbike. Sammy, let's go back into our sheep pose, coming down onto our hands and knees and baa, baa, baa like a sheep. Sammy explained to Lucas what he should do before he goes over the road. Coming down onto your knees. You need to stop. Bringing those hands up. You need to look for vehicles. Get out those super spectacles. You need to listen for vehicles. Rubbing those ears from the bottom to the top and back down again. And then rubbing your head. You need to think, is it safe to cross? Well done. Sammy's starting to feel a little better. Now he's told some of the lambs how to stay safe around the road. He decides to lay back in the sun. Coming to lie on your backs, your legs out straight and your arms by your sides. All of a sudden, Sammy sits up. You can sit on your bottom with your legs crossed. He can hear a strange noise, rubbing your ears from the bottom to the top and back down again. Take out your super spectacles as Sammy looks in the distance. Oh no. Along the road, Sammy can see a car. Let's go back into our car pose. Onto our bottoms, our legs out straight in front of us. Turn on that engine, holding that steering wheel. We can see a car zooming down the road. You can also see a big lorry behind it. Come to standing with your feet together, holding your steering wheel and bending your knees up and down as the lorry is coming behind the zooming car. Fantastic. And then coming in and out of the two vehicles is a motorbike, bending forward and reaching those arms out to hold those handlebars and vroom, vroom, vroom like a motorbike as it bends in and out of the car and the lorry to zoom on by down the road. Sammy stops looking in the distance, comes to standing and looks a little bit closer around his hill, making sure your feet are together, arms by your side, roll your shoulders up and back and down into our hill pose. Oh no. Sammy can see that Luna, the lamb, is about to step out into the road. He gets ready to shout stop, cupping your hands around your mouth. Breathing in through your nose. But as he goes to shout stop, Sammy hears Lucas and Lily the lamb shout stop instead. Stop! Luna stops what she is doing and looks at Lucas and Lily. Let's go down into a lamb pose. Onto our hands and knees to start. And then coming down to the front of those arms into our lamb pose. Lucas looks at Luna and says,
what are you doing?
Luna replies,
I was going to cross over the road because the grass over that side looks so luscious and green.
Lucas, sitting up onto your knees, looks at Luna.
That's fine, but we have some rules before we cross the road. We have to stop,
Bringing up those hands.
we have to look for vehicles,
Getting out those super spectacles.
we have to listen for vehicles,
Rubbing those ears from the bottom to the top. And all the way back down again.
and then we have to think
Rubbing that head.
if it's safe to cross. That right, Lil?
Lily the lamb nods her head and smiles, rubbing your jaw. Well done. Sammy watches as the lambs get ready to cross the road. Come to standing with your feet together. They stop at the side of the road. Take out your super spectacles. They look up and down the road. No vehicles. They listen, rubbing your ears. Really, really carefully. No sound. And they think, and they look at each other, looking from one side to the other, and decide it's safe to cross. They take one big step forwards to cross the road. Well done. Sammy, let's go back into our sheep pose, coming onto our hands and knees. Has seen the whole thing. He is so proud of all the lambs. Coming down at the front of your arms into our lamb pose. Sammy has watched as they follow the road safety rules he has taught them. Feeling much calmer and much happier about what those lambs now know, Sammy lays back in the sun again, going to lie on your backs with your legs out straight and your arms by your sides. Sammy is so happy and so proud that those lambs all listen to those road safety rules. They listened so well and remembered them so well they were able to teach the rules to their friends too. Sammy is sure that these lambs are going to help him teach other animals all the road safety rules in the future. He's glad to have some special helpers for those special rules. Remember, when you want to cross the road, you stop, you look, you listen, and you think. Now give your fingers a wiggle and your toes a wiggle. Lift up your knees and give them a hug. And then roll onto your side and push yourselves up onto your bottoms, your legs crossed. Bring your hands back to your heart. And after 3, we'll say our yoga goodbye. Namaste. 1, 2, 3. Namaste. Thanks for joining me at Little Diamond Yoga Stories today. See you again soon. Bye.